our very first YouTube collaboration. My name is Niamh. I'm born and bred from Dublin, Ireland, and I'm a pop artist, acrylic painter in the NFT space. So that's enough about me for now, and I'm going to pass over to Frank.
Well, hi, I'm Frank. Recently jumped into the NFT and the blockchain art scene, going into a very special field, being the AI art, artificial intelligence, where I recently met Niamh, and I will let her tell on how we did meet.
Obviously, we're from different countries. It's really nice to know how people actually met. Like, it's important to know. So, how we first met, I suppose, like anyone first jumping into the NFT space, marketing is really important. So, we actually reached out to one another on Discord. It's brilliant for networking to find opportunities and to find other artists that are selling their work.
We also talked on how basically we both jumped into NFT. Because yeah, both of us, we have let's say a more physical thing that we're doing, while the NFT is a purely digital thing, the blockchain art. We are so different, so that gives added value from both styles and from both ideas to bring that into a single piece. And yeah, seeing that we sold it to a quite famous collector, I think that was a good idea. So I was slowly starting building up a database of people who might be interested. I decided, well, let's all contact them. Let's see what they think about the piece. So I wrote them all, asking for feedback about the piece, and they said, "I love it. I want it in my collection." So I don't even know if it's good advice to give.
I think most people would disagree with you that you should never contact a potential collector. But to be honest, it worked for me as well. So if it works for both of us, we're, good examples for it instead of against it. I think definitely it depends on your personality as well, like how easy it is in going to sell your work. If you're really completely an introvert, you're going to find it 1,000 times more difficult versus if you're already like used to publicly announcing your artwork on social media, or if you've like better if you're showing your face, if you have your videos already on YouTube, like you have a YouTube channel there and you've already showed your artwork, so it makes it that little bit easier maybe because your name is already known.
Indeed, I'm an extrovert. Yeah, I'm doing 50 tweets a day. So my art is out there. That is not a problem. But not everybody is willing to do this. Are you willing to self-promote yourself so much? And I don't think everybody is willing to do that. And that is, I think, where foundations can still close the gap.
Like AI is definitely the reason why I wanted to collaborate with you as well, because I know like there's going to be a lot of NFT artists in the future specifically for AI. It's only going to get more and more popular because it's difficult to fully understand if you don't come from a developer's point of view, if you've never studied any sort of computer science or any sort of similar work. It's futuristic, it's really cool, and it's how everything is going to move and perform in the future as well. So I definitely wanted to collaborate with someone that fully understood it and was able to um, develop work in that area.
Yeah, but I think it will stay like that in the short future because the AI art, the tool set that I use is a tool set that I made myself. It's not really available. And I see other artists are doing very similar things to what I do. And also they have their own private tool set. They're not using apps. They're not using anything that is pre-made. So the AI art, like I make it on a custom tool set. And I know a few artists that are basically doing similar things to me. And also they're using their own tool sets. They're not publicly available. And there are coming some apps on phones and but those are mostly just expensive filters. So they can't do what we are doing at this moment. So I think for the coming few years, the AR art will actually stay quite a niche, and that is good. So the market won't be flooded. So we have the market for us.
Yeah, that's very interesting what you said, because I do a lot of research, and I didn't happen to come across a lot of AI artists in the NFT space. So it's definitely not going to be flooded anytime soon. It's going to be interesting to see when we launch our second collab.
So the inspiration basically is twofold. So I took on one side, I took the inspiration of Romy Schneider, who's an actress from a long time ago, and she once made a French movie, L'Enfer, and the director made her do crazy things over and over again for days. Finally, the movie was finished, but yeah, it took him a really long time. And one of the things he made her do is he made her smoke in, yeah, very changing light all the time. And that's I particularly love that scene. And the other part of the inspiration is basically coming from the X Files, where we have the smoking man. And the smoking man is basically one of the villains in the X Files, and he's a very mysterious character that always shows up in the shadows, and nobody really knows what he is and why he is the villain, and so on. So a very mysterious character. And so I would like to project both these characters onto Niamh and make her the smoking girl.
Yeah, and I really can't wait to actually see it, because I send you a piece, I send you a video, and then you send it back to me completely different. Like, I do be amazed at how you actually like do this. I still don't fully understand AI.
The process on its own is it's relatively simple process, but it's a process that takes a lot of time. So if I do a single image, I can do it in, yeah, in seconds to a minute, depending on the resolution of that image. So the first thing I do is when I receive a video from you is I take it apart. So the computer takes the 2 minutes of video that you made, and he takes it apart into a few thousand of pictures. Then I manually select there. I select a picture that I think is visually interesting, and I will give it to the AI, and I will say, well, make me 42 variations of this picture, and he will redraw it in these 42 different styles. And then I manually again, I will start selecting what are the styles that I really like, what does fit with the lighting we have, with your face. I will then pre-process, because we have a pre-processor before it goes to the AI, who will basically flatten out the image. The lighting is never perfect. If you go to video, the camera has its imperfections. If you're inside, the light varies because we're using artificial lights. So the pre-processor will try to compensate for all these defects in video, and you don't want that. And we want to have the focus on you. So depending on the length of the video, this can take hours or even days for a computer to process it. And when I then finally have all those images, well, I just ask the program to put them back together to a video. And once I have that video, I can take that video into Premiere or into After Effects. Because what I usually do is, if it's a steady background, like what we did in Sensual, you were basically you were inside a room, so the background didn't change, the camera didn't move. So I did look up your most forward position. I took a still. I did look up your most backward position. I took a still, and I merged those two stills. So I actually got a fixed background. And then I will start mixing that fixed background into the normal video again to even more get out that flickering effect.
Oh.
And I think we did it very well on Sensual. It's still there a little bit, but it doesn't bother you. It's very soft, and it even I think it even makes you pop out of the background, because when you first showed me that you've posted it on Instagram or something, I think, but you were filming your screen with your phone and you were moving your phone, and it really gave the effect that you were in 3D on that computer screen. So that was really cool.
Ah, so it actually worked out in the end, even though it could have been a nuisance at the start. But I'm glad that it worked out well, because it's interesting how there can be like phone photographers out there, and there's so many new upcoming artists in the space as well. So it just goes to show you can create art with what you have. You don't need expensive equipment, as long as you know how to use it well is the most important thing. And thanks so much for explaining your process to me and to everyone else a little bit more, because that even really helped me understand what you did with the video that I sent you, because really, like, I understand it more, and hopefully I will fully understand it one day. Hopefully when we keep working together, I'll be able to explain it to everyone else as well as you can. But yeah, like, your process is totally different to my process, so it really just shows like opposites attract as well in the NFT space. Like, everyone like in the NFT space is working together to help one another. That's what I really like about it. And yeah, my process is so different. So my process is the traditional artist, so we're really two opposite ends, you know, of the artist spectrum. So I would be working with canvas, I'd be working with physical materials, you'd be working with, you know, just on your laptop, and you'd be coding. So it's totally separate, but it works really well that we have found, I suppose, an interest in each other's work as well, to find like a happy medium. And yeah, my work is obviously with acrylic paint. And what I would do first, before I even begin to paint any of my works, I'd always try and prime my canvas with gesso. So gesso is just a primer to make sure that the paint runs more smoothly, and then it will stay on for life. Because I started doing a few commissions. They want to have it in their family home, and they want to keep it on their wall there for life. So it's interesting, because a lot of traditional artists now, if they're on in the NFT space, they want to still like deliver a physical print. They're not sure, should, like, is that an advantage to deliver the physical print, because that's what they're used to doing. I know definitely one big inspiration for me. They're not in the NFT space, but for why I started painting, was, there's an Irish artist, and he's called Dan Leo. He's really big in Ireland. He's really famous here, and he's a full-time artist. So I kind of looked up to him. And my work is very colorful. It's, you know, resembles like a comic book, that it would engage with not just children but adults as well. It's a pity, because there's a lot of great traditional artists, and I know they will just never adapt to the NFT market. They just won't understand how it can really benefit them. And it's a pity, because there's a lot of artists now that are going to do this full time because of this NFT. Like, it's going to help them so much with secondary sales, with their royalties as well. So like, there's a huge opportunity for every artist really to start becoming interested, and really even to just try and first mint their very first token. I think everyone should really try it at least once and see how they get on. I mean, if they don't have time to market it, that's fine. Not, you know, marketing isn't for everyone. But if you're an artist, I think, like any type of artist, even a musician, they should definitely try it. What do you think?
But the problem stays the marketing, I think. If you can't full time market your work, you won't sell anything, because the market is so new. Basically, if you go into town and you ask anybody, do you know what NFT is? I think 99.9% of all the people will just say no, never heard of it. So that market is so, yeah, so niche at this moment. So if you don't have the time to market it, you won't sell anything. That's a big disadvantage here of this market. But Niamh, tell us, why did you choose a foundation?
Yeah, I had done so much research. Oh my God, I think I did a full month of research into NFT, into what was the best marketplace to use. And I found Foundation was definitely the most exclusive app. And I did like the way you can't join it straight away, that they encourage you to market yourself, because it's very true that your very first piece of work is usually the most difficult to sell. So at least by engaging with your audience, by having a foundation there and building a relationship with like-minded people, it makes that process just a little bit easier for you to sell your work, because most NFT artists, they're not going to have just one piece of work.
There are 24,000 unsold works on Foundation at this moment. I just
How
did the
many?
research this
How
morning.
many?
20, 24,000.
Wow. Oh, that's really interesting. Wow. Well done. Wow, for looking that up. That's crazy. That just goes to show how difficult it is for artists to sell their work. Costs a significant amount of money to a lot of people to actually mint it in the first place, depending on the gas fees and how much they cost right now. But for me, the first artwork that I listed or that I minted, it was over $100 because I really wanted to get my first piece out there. I didn't really care how much it cost. And then within 2 days, I got a collector. I got a straight sale rather than a bidding war. I think a lot of collectors, they don't like the bidding war at all. They want to buy it there and they want to buy it now. I mean, that happened to you as well with Sensual, right?
Yes, yeah. Triple Eight. He wanted basically me to unlist the work, to unlist Sensual and just buy it out of the hand. It's also what we did, because for marketing reasons, doing the sale to Triple Eight was much more important than to get a bid war at that moment.
It's absolutely everywhere. It's hard to avoid NFT and what it is. People hear non-fungible token, they don't understand what fungible means, they don't understand really what the token is. And then trying to explain the blockchain is like a mission in itself to explain. Unless you want to do the research yourself, you really need to do the research to understand what an NFT is and how it can help you as well as an artist.
I think like you, I minted the next day my first piece. I didn't really care about the price at that moment. Also, I was not really aware on how high it could go and how low it could go. So I think with our $100 for mint and list together, we were actually still quite good. At the moment, it's quite low, but we have seen much higher too. And lucky for me, it sold within 24 hours. So that gave me really a big boost to make more.
Yeah, there's nothing like the excitement of your first sale. I know for me, the collector was in Russia, and they're obviously completely different time zone, completely different time for me. And I couldn't sleep when I woke up then the next day after. I couldn't sleep at all. I says, what if I get a second bid or a second sale?
But that's the disadvantage of a global market. Eh? You can't stay up all night to market it and to search for that third and fourth bit.
Yeah, exactly. So marketing is so important. And I think because everyone is trying to embrace the decentralized like platforms, and everyone is going away from the likes of Facebook and even Instagram. So hopefully we'll see in the future a lot of these marketplaces will have easier ways to communicate with one another. Like right now we can't private message, our collector within the platform. We can't communicate with them if they don't have a social media channel. Then there's just no communication there whatsoever. I do think that they will consider that soon, because all of the platforms now, they're just in huge competition with each other. When there's like specific platforms for specific artists, so say like you being an AI artist, they'll definitely have that soon. So you will just focus in on one platform. At least I hope.
Yeah, if you look at the last collector, so the guy that did buy yesterday from me, I can't find him. So I have a handle on Foundation, but when I use that handle on Twitter, yeah, I find a lot of guys, but I can't find a photo match. And I was the first piece that he collected, so nobody else knows him. So yeah, I can't thank him on Twitter. What I usually do, if somebody buys something, I make a tweet about that. So there is oncyber.io, where you can basically start your own art gallery. So you can put put anything in there on your Ether blockchain or on your Tesla blockchain at the moment. So anything that you created or you did collect on Ether or on Teslas, you can actually put in that virtual gallery and you can walk around in it. And so you can invite people, you can send people the link. I did put the link in my Discord status. So anybody who clicks on my name will see the link of my personal art gallery, where they then can admire my works, the works that I've collected, and now since recently, also your works.
So Frank does have his own YouTube channel, so definitely check out Frank's. And we will definitely do a second video as we will do this second collaboration. So how do you feel now, Frank, with the first successful collaboration now, and then we are going to launch then the second one, hopefully next week?
Well, very happy about it. I was happy to sell your face. And yeah, we will sell you again for sure, but in a completely different style.
I can't wait. And thank you so much, Frank, for your time today as well. And it was great to know and help me with explaining AI, what it is, your process versus my process, learning a little bit about Foundation Marketplace and we'd like your inspiration as with the filmmaking, working in the tech sector, and how it's all impacted you today to actually become an NFT artist.
Bye bye.